wearing the same uniforms that we watched for so many years, for the 7 years that the WHA was in existence. So, I think that to the naysayers, I say, go watch a game. Because it won't be too long before there's 12 teams in BC, and maybe another 8 or 10 in Alberta, and maybe another 6 or 7 in Saskatchewan, and then maybe another 10 or 12 in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So it'll be around for a long time, and there's going to be a lot of good hockey players that maybe are denied through politics or whatever the opportunity to play Junior A in a different city, that are going to have the opportunity to play in the WHA.
I would venture to say more politics than anything else, because politics in the world of sport, it just plays just a horrendous venue right now.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of an independent league.
How can you say that, and how can I say this with a straight face?
Yeah, exactly.
But
you know what? You look at the baseball league that I'm involved in, independent league. This is independent. The beauty of that is, if somebody tells you can't do something, you say, why not? We can make our own rules. Now,
exactly right.
Within the, we're certainly never going to get to the point where we make a mockery of the game of hockey by changing, putting a 12-foot net or whatever, or, 4-on-4 or things like that. But, we don't have to go and petition somebody to make a rule change that is good for the league. We talked at a coaches meeting a couple of weeks ago about, everybody exchanging ideas, and we talked the little things about chin straps being done up in warm-ups and little things like that. That that if it was under different auspices, that you could get fined or suspended for things like that. Now the coaches cooperate with each other, and everybody wants to win, so there's always going to be competitiveness. But in this case, everybody's trying for the betterment of the game, which is why Brad's involved. Here's a guy that can come in and teach kids something that most coaches can't, because very few of them have anywhere near, of course, the expertise and the experience that Brad has. And the best part is, and I saw it in the last 2 days, he's also teaching the coaches. In fact, the coaches in Squamish the other day said that the hour and a half that he spent on the ice was worth two years of training for them.
When I spoke to Matt actually phoned me yesterday, and he said that he was just astounded the fact that you went up there and you give the time, to teach them, and not just the players, the coaches as well. They were just in awe. They thought it was great. But not only is Brad Park out here involved with this right now, you've got Gary Unger, who is the head coach in New West, and of course we all know Gary Unger, because Gary Unger held the 914 record streak for Ironman in the NHL, and also you've got Dennis Sobchuk, who coached, he played in Quebec. So you've got in those two individuals alone, you got two great individuals that are good coaches.
With Bobby as commissioner and Brad, as a major consultant in this thing now, that's pretty impressive array of guys that are involved in the league. And obviously, as we expand, it's just going to get bigger and better. And there's lots of good coaches out there, and lots of guys like Dennis, who Dennis was in in Regina for 3 years.
That's right.
He's a pretty good coach. Gary, of course, was in Tulsa for it seemed like forever, and then I brought him down to Birmingham in the WHA 2. And coincidentally, here we are again, basically in the same city again. So it's great to see coaches like that involved, and the fact that the kids really do listen, and they show respect on the ice for their peers, and especially for the coaches that they have.
When we look at Brad's record that he's amassed over the years, Brad was a first-team All-Star in 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, and 77, 78. A second-team All-Star in the National Hockey League, 70, 71, 72, 73. You played in All-Star games from 1970 to 1978. You played in the Cup Finals in 1972 with New York, as well as with Boston.
The greatest victory ever.
As well as Boston, 77 to 78. And you also you were Rangers MVP in 73, 74, won the Bill Masterton Trophy in 83, 84 with Detroit. But you played in the Summit Series with Team Canada, going back to 1972. And for those that are unfamiliar with just some of the names, I'll just run by some of the names. You've got names of players like Eddie Johnson, Bobby Orr, Ron Ellis, Phil Esposito, Bill Goldsworthy, Yvonne Cornwallier, Red Berenson, Jean Rattel, Pete Mahavlis, J.P. Parise, Serge Savard, Stan Mikita, Paul Henderson, who we all know with that famous shot that he told, Wayne Cashman, Dennis Hull, Rod Gilbert, Gilbert Perreault, Ken Dryden. The names go on and on. And if I pick any one of these names, I'll give you names. You throw a one-word answer out to me, what you relate to them as. I'll give you a name, Dale Talon.
Skated like Bobby Orr.
Jocelyn Gouvermont.
Shoot the puck through an iron wall.
Frank Mahavlich.
Pretty.
Guy Lapointe.
Just kidding. I mean, just smooth with the puck. How's that? I can't give you a one-word answer. And Frank's never been pretty.
No.
But smooth with the smooth in flight.
Makita.
Unbelievable with the puck. Gretzky never did anything better than Stan Mikita.
Gilbert.
Gilbert for one-on-one was scary.
Coaching. Harry Sinnen and John Ferguson.
Muscle and brains.
In that order.
Fergie had the brain?
Well, you said John Ferguson first,
Yeah, okay.
right? You didn't say Harry first. I would have said brains and muscle.
Fergie
but
tried to throw me out of an airplane at 40,000 feet once.
Fergie has the world toss for chairs. He can throw a chair across the rink farther than anybody.
Bobby Knight took lessons from him, right?
Now, when you played with this Summit Series, 8 games, you played all 8 games, you got 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 total points, only 2 penalty minutes, and ironically, your only 2 penalty minutes came in game number 2 in the first period. It was for cross-checking, so you were pretty mellow in that series. How did that series affect you as a player?
Actually, you know something, I had more points. If you went back and looked at watched the games, I probably had 4 more points. But I didn't think at that time, I wasn't worried about trying to go and get an assist. I got an assist in Moscow, and I shot the puck, and it went right by Phil, and Luchenko put it in his own net, and Phil got the goal and never touched it. Gave me
Russian referee.
Right. But anyways, you know, aside from that, I probably had 4 more points. But we were in the habit of we got penalized unbelievable in the series, especially in Russia. And they were such a great team at moving the puck, and I learned so much on what they did in the power play and shooting it off the pass that I came back to Canada and started to change how I wanted things to work on a power play, and talked to Emile Francis and where I used to be on the left side, switched to the right side so I could one-time the puck more. Really realized, you know, there was a different way to play the game. But again, 2 minutes and penalties, it wasn't a series that if you took a bad penalty, it was going to cost you.
Fair to say that the European influence or the Soviet influence in that series changed the whole way the game is played today?
It changed a lot of things. And I think you have to understand that some of the things that's come in from that is not the way to play. Okay? For example, the European system of all this crisscrossing, it works very well when it goes D to D and you have a 100-foot wide rink and the D can hold the puck until the guys get in the hole. But it doesn't work in a North American rink that's 85 feet wide, because when you go D to D, he runs out of room, so he's got to move the puck before the guys get in the hole. So a combination of a little crisscrossing, but straight, mainly north-south, works better on a North American rink than
Retirement for you, was it hard to swallow?
No. I mean, I played 17 years. My knees were not the best. I was getting a little mellow, and somebody put their glove in there with my face. I wasn't getting this pissed off, and I said that I don't want to be like that.
You just want to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, but in old timers, you put your glove in my face, I really get pissed off.
Your induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1988, that must have been a nice feeling for you.
That was a capper, and I was more happy for my mother and my father than for myself.
And you were in pretty elite company at that time, at the same time as well.
Yeah, I went in with Tony Esposito and Guy Lafleur. I mean, you shot at one and chased the other. It was good.
Now, also, just on a side note to this whole thing, which I remember it vaguely, but probably because I didn't do a lot of it. But in 2004, Canada Post actually came out with some stamps, to which you were on one of the stamps. Bauer was on one, Robinson, Marcel Dion, Ted Lindsay, Milt Schmidt, and yourself.
Yeah, they've done that for a few years, and I was in with some great guys, and I remember talking to Milt Schmidt, because I live in Boston and Milt's in Boston, and I said, Milt, I am so honored to be on, in that group of stamps with you, because I can't think of anybody I'd rather be licked with.
It was interesting because when you were inducted into 1988 into the NHL Hall of Fame, that was the same year in which Wayne Gretzky passed Gordie Howe with a record of 1,050 career assists. The same year, the 76 CFL Grey Cup that Winnipeg defeated BC by a score of 22-21. And also the same year, Betsy King won the LPGA Women's Kemper Golf Open. So those are three other facts
That was a good year.
played out in that
I got
year.
the stick that Gretzky got that point with, by the way.
And you're not going to give that up, are you?
No, actually, my son has it on his wall.
Well, that's interesting. Is the whole thing plays out interesting. When you're looking, Brad, to come out, you're teaching the kids. Besides one or two little things, what do you tell the parents when they say, little Johnny can't make it? What do you tell them, and how do you keep them focused?
Well, I mean, right now I'm out here working with the WHA and junior kids, but basically, I'm probably a prime example of a guy that was a late bloomer. I was 15, I was 5 foot tall, and I was written off. I wasn't on any scouting list, on anything like that. And by the time I was 16, I grew 8 inches. Took me another 6 months for my coordination to come back. You never know what's going to happen with your kid. On the other hand, they're playing a sport that they'll be able to enjoy till they're 60, 70 years old, just like golf. And you'll find that the hockey players will continue to play men's hockey and rec hockey and have fun till they're 60 and 70 years old. And there's no other sport that has that many people that will do it.
Nothing wrong with that. Peter, lastly, because we're running out of time, got about a minute left. What do you tell the people to bring them out to the games?
Well, I think that what we've emphasized is, number one, it's fun, affordable entertainment. A family can come out and enjoy 2.5 to 3 hours of fast-paced hockey, clean hockey that isn't going to break the bank. The concessions are reasonably priced, the tickets are more than reasonably priced, and they're going to see some pretty good hockey. And especially in the communities that have embraced their local team now. It's tough in a big market like this where there's so many different junior clubs. But you go to Bellingham, free parking. In fact, we're going to do something in baseball this year. They did it in Kansas City in our league this year. They paid the fans to park. They gave the fans it wasn't only free, they paid them to park.
Good incentive
So
to bring
we're
them.
not going to do that right now. But really, I guess fast, affordable, fun hockey is the big selling point, and some great coaching, obviously.
Indeed. I want to thank Peter Young coming out. He's involved with the WHA. And, of course, once again, you can check it out. The website is www.officialwha.com. Mr. Brad Park, as we mentioned, if you want tons of information, get a hold of us. We'll have a story done up on this on the Sports Wave website in the next while. Mr. Brad Park, NHL, All-Star, all around. And everybody keeps saying that if Bobby Orr didn't play, Brad would have taken his place, and I won't argue that too much. Remember, Sports Wave is about you, sports, and your community. Feel more than free to send me an email at sportswave@dccnet.com. I personally reply to each and every one of them. And again, stay tuned because we've got great segments for Sports Wave coming up. On behalf of everybody connected with Delta Cable Television Studio, if you don't play sport, at least be one.